Okay. Let's see here. Move the mic. Move that. Oh, I can't believe how unready for this I was. But that's okay. That's the nature of these, I guess. Let's see. Glass file. Oh, I can't believe how quickly 7 p.m. was. So that's what I've gotten so far. One, E2, D1, D2, C, B1 and 2, and A. Okay, well, I think we're going to jump right into this. Don't need a lot of preamble. We know what we're doing here, folks. We are putting together the, oh my gosh, it doesn't have the artwork of the final thing on it. This is what we are putting together, the high grade Heavyarms custom. We'll be doing a lot more with it in the coming weeks, but one step at a time, and that first step is getting it put together. All right, so we need B1, a lot of the B1s. So you need 8, 5, and 9. Hey, Deshi. Did not have the artwork. Oh, yeah. Normally they have them on the instructions, but not this one. I'm not sure why that is. I'm doing okay. Family's doing good. Got everything settled with the wife. She's okay. Yeah, yeah. She got all checked out. She's doing fine. Resting, kids are fine. And I just realized, like, oh, yeah, it's St. Patrick's Day. I bet a lot of people are out having a good time. Well, I'm going to have my own good time right here. Because I already did a lot of that kind of good time when I was younger, and I do not need to do it anymore. And again, I never know when St. Patrick's Day is. Yeah, all the kids are fine. This is the one day out of the year that I tell my kids, I tell them, like, listen, if anybody pinches you, you have my permission to punch them in the nose. My wife does not like me saying that, but the way I see it, like, hey, if kids being kids, as they are, feel the need to pinch my son or daughter over not wearing the proper colored shirt, by all means, punch them in the nose. After that, it's your own affair, though. Like if it gets escalated from that, uh, I'll walk into the school and take the blame. I'll tell them like, yeah, I told my kids to do that if they ever got pinched. And this is the only time. There was when I was working grave shift. I had come in early and I had worn an orange long sleeved shirt the night prior to St. Patrick's Day. And so I'm working all night, not really thinking anything of it. And then all the day shift people start coming in and see me wearing an orange shirt on St. Patrick's Day. And we're in a not not brutally Irish place, but definitely people with a lot of Irish heritage. They were giving me odd looks, and that's when I realized, like, oh, when I wore this, it was just an orange shirt. Now people are looking at me uh, like I'm going to be a problem. Like, no, is I literally put this on while all of you were asleep last night, and no need to be dicks about this holiday. Never know when most holidays are. Yeah, for some reason, St. Patrick's Day, it's like a big one for me. It's somebody always has to tell me like the day before or relatively close to the actual day. Because the 17th is just like a weird day to have a holiday. And I'm not entirely sure of the historical significance of why it has to be the 17th of March. Uh, I also never know when Easter is anymore, apparently, because I used to think like growing up, like, oh yeah, it's like the end of March. Like, no, it's like this day in April now. It's this day. For some reason, growing up, I always thought like uh, daylight savings and Easter were right next to each other or relatively close together, but that ain't the case. It seems like daylight savings is earlier and earlier every year. Oh, I hate these small joints, and I hate the curved edges. I really need sanding sponges to go over the curved surfaces. But I did get from New Type the sort of standy uh, building base that I'm gonna go for this diorama. Gonna spray paint it black, and I'm gonna paint the windows white. And when the kit's all put together, I'll kind of show you just kind of the pose that I want it to be in and have the white sort of reflecting off the kit. There's lots of people out there that like to do LEDs with their model kits. I do not trust myself with electronics just yet. I think that is a skill that I'm interested in, but it's not the big one that I'm gonna be focusing on anytime soon. I just really want to get my sanding down pretty good and just light alterations, using some plow plate to accentuate some of the features. Like I'll probably on the shoulders right here kind of cover up some of the seam lines and the mold lines, do like a plate here, just make the shoulders look a little bit beefier. Okay. So we've got this. And we've got that. All right, now we need A20. 20, and we'll probably need 21. And the Army Blade here, and that is on E112. I like this kind of softer plastic. It cuts out pretty dang easy. Yeah, and my hat goes off to those folks that can do the LEDs. There's I'm not remembering his name off the top of my head right now. He's a Gunpla builder that does really, really good LED work. Found him on Instagram, and he's doing a Calibarn, or his Calibarn 2.0 with LEDs. Calibarn, sort of the end suit of Witch from Mercury, and I think if I have to recommend a Gundam show that's pretty easily accessible, Witch from Mercury is definitely one. I think Bandai did it dirty by only giving it 2 12-episode seasons. It's definitely one that has all the story and the characters for a proper 2 25-episode season show, but didn't. But from what I understand in like the world of anime, it's bad. People are just like praying to get another season of their favorite show. I'm not a big anime head. Nothing against it. It's just like nothing new has jumped out at me. Maybe I'm just stuck in that uh late 80s, 90s style. I just love that style so much, and I miss it. Like the hand drawn. Yeah, the on YouTube, it used to be called Gundam Info. I forget what it's called now. Actually, let me go look that up. Uh, so yeah, Gundam Channel International. Uh, they have the Witch from Mercury. I think they have the subbed and dubbed versions. I know they have the dubbed version because that's what my son and I watched. They have the sub and dub of Iron Blooded Orphans, which is it's a it's a good show. I wouldn't necessarily call it a good Gundam show. It gets pretty dark, which I don't mind. But really, the Gundams and the mobile suits take a significant uh, backseat to all the drama and plot, as it were. Which is fine. I have a few criticisms of Iron-Blooded Orphans, but that's just a I already know, like, it's a me thing. There's people that love it for the criticisms I have. Uh, one of them being in season 2, which is probably, in all honesty, the better season. It suffers from, way too many very interesting story arcs that they try to wrap up in 3 or 4 episodes, and like, "No, we can do like, we can spend just, like, a little bit longer exploring this because I know, like, there's a payoff in, like, coming up really soon between these characters. If you just give it, like, 1 more episode, to just let us, be in this moment." Uh, they also have Gundam Wing subbed, uh, on it. That was fairly recent. Watched that with my son. That's the Gundam, uh, series and anime series that really got me into the whole thing because Toonami, it was, Gundam Wing, Sailor Moon, which I probably could have gotten a lot more into Sailor Moon, except it felt like every time that I wanted to watch when it was on, it was like the same 4 or 5 episodes that they kept playing that I was able to see or, catch when I was watching at home. But I have a friend that's really into Sailor Moon, and she catches me up on sort of the overall plot and stuff like that for the show if I misconstrue anything that happened. Sailor Scout? Oh, yeah. I wasn't able to record them, but I was able to catch that. What are some other really good shows on Toonami? Tenchi, Tenchi Muyo. Uh, that between Tenchi Muyo and Sailor Mars, that's when I realized like I had a thing for baddies. Outlaw Star. Ooh, I should have my son and I watch Outlaw Star. Kenshin. Yeah, that's what I should probably hunt that down on DVD because that was one that like I watched it faithfully while it was running, and then I missed like a couple of weeks, and they restarted the series from the beginning, and it like I missed like the big finale of like first season or something like that. Okay, let's see here. Let's make sure we don't put this on backwards because that is 100% a possible thing to happen. Uh, what was Ronin Warriors or Samurai Trooper? I think it was Ronin Warriors when it was here in the US, but I had an action figure. Uh, I think it was the green one of Samurai Trooper. All right, 29. And I think yeah, Ronin Warriors got like a reboot or something like that. It's on Netflix. I've seen that they kind of have not model kits, but action figures of the uh the main characters. Not entirely sure if I like the style of the new one. Uh that might just be me, old man yelling at cloud, like, "It doesn't look as good." It's because, as I said before, like, I just love the '90s style better. Yeah, I had, uh okay, what all did I have? I had the entire first series of, uh, Macross Saga, or, Robotech. It was seasons 1 and 2 of that, and I ate that up, like, over Christmas break. I couldn't get enough of it. And I had both seasons of Gundam Wing on DVD, and I had the collector's edition Outlaw Star on DVD. And like a fool, I sold them, and I really wish I hadn't at this point because I want to watch them now, and I have to go scour the YouTube for like 3 minute clips of the series if I want it dubbed, which I typically do, just because I'm usually doing something while I have something on. Like I don't watch things; I just have it on in the background. Yeah, Outlaw Star was so dope. All right, so B. I go back to my B's. Okay, we got the hand parts now. Let's see, 21. Wait, is this B1? Yeah, 21 and 19. Hmm. Never good when a piece of the plastic comes flying at your face and just hope like, do not let that be a finger. Do not let that be a finger. It wasn't a finger, thankfully. Okay. And I'm gonna do 28 here as well. Just give two options for hand sets. Cowboy Bebop. It was on Adult Swim. I was just never really up that late to watch Adult Swim. I remember, okay, go back in time a little bit further. Back when I had three I had 3 or 4 of the Gundam Wing VHS tapes, and there was, uh, trailers for Outlaw Star and Cowboy Bebop, and they looked so cool. Just that, like, jazz music that they played on it. I thought like, "Oh, this is gonna be super cool." I never really watched it because it was on Adult Swim, and at the time of my interest in anime, uh, just didn't stay up that late. But I do remember a couple of times watching. I think I saw 2 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. I saw the, initial like, the pilot episode, and one where they were on the ship and there was, like, some strange, space blob, and it killed them all. And I thought like, wow, this is a weird way to end the series. I've seen the first episode of the series and I've seen the last episode of the series. I'm not entirely sure if that was actually the last episode of the series. It just they all seem to have died on the ship from this weird space amoeba thing. They did live. I kind of had a feeling it was. I think it was just at the time I was watching it, and it felt like just a really weird uh, series finale. Uh, but at the time, I thought like, well, that's an interesting way to end a series. Not how I would have gone about it, but they do live at the fridge episode. Yeah, really weird episode to jump in if you've only seen the first episode. I think, but I hear lots of good things about it and lots of bad things about the live action. We need to stop doing live action stuff. We can let cartoons be cartoons and let live action stuff be live action stuff. I don't think I've seen a single piece of live action from an animated source that was better than the original source or even as good. Okay. That bodes well. The head fell off. Now we have arm. Oh my gosh. Range on the arm isn't terribly good. Eh, it's good enough. I think it's going to do what I need it to do. Definitely need to go through and brush this up a little bit. Okay. So there is one thing I wanted to do on this live build. How long have we been going? 28 minutes? That ain't too bad. Yeah, I had to cancel the first live stream that I put up because for some reason I had it linked to my laptop camera, which is over there, and I couldn't figure out how to change the settings. So like, okay, cancel that live stream and try it again. So if anybody from Instagram is wondering where the live stream that I posted about is, uh, it's not going to be in that link, but it should at the very least take them to the channel and they'll see that I'm live. Oh boy. I am excited for Wednesday. Get a new episode of the Undergated podcast, which is the podcast that I listen to about Gundam, Gunpla, anime, books, anything and everything, whatever the fellas want to talk about. I clipped out the wrong hand piece. No, I didn't. There we go. And here's like a holding hand. I can swap them out. You were happy with the live action, just with no original to judge by? Yeah, yeah. You know what? I can understand that. Uh, being a product of the late '80s, early '90s, there was a lot of recycled original ideas, and people are like, "Oh, it's not as good as, the original." I remember when The Lord of the Rings came out and, hearing people say like, "Oh, it's not as good as the original, like, the animated one they did back in the '70s." And, like, I had watched that when I was little, and I didn't understand it whatsoever. The animation was weird to me, I couldn't follow the story, and, uh, you know what? If that Rankin Bass, uh, Lord of the Rings movie is your jam, by all means, go for it. Okay, so I think this is all I'm gonna build for today. I did want to try something, though. I just now have to find them. Okay, here they are. Really can't tell what they are because it's all right. These are Sharpies that I got. I can't remember where I got them. Now they're going all over the place. Uh, Target, I think. I think I got these at Target. But I think I'm either gonna use these or I really don't want to go out and buy Gundam markers because they're like crazy expensive, like $5 for one marker. Not something I really want to use, but I might go about doing it if needs be. So the initial plan is, and uh, if anybody watching on the video on demand sees this and wants to comment below, boy, stop before you screw up your kit. You have like a couple of weeks to do that. I'm planning on doing a glossy white paint on most of it. I'm gonna put it together. I'm gonna get like a really bright light and shine it from where I want the light source to come from, and just like start taking pictures all the way around. That way I can see like shadows, where that would be on the kit. And the plan is to uh, make this model kit when it's all done. Looks like it's coming out of like a noir scene, black and white, very Frank Miller Sin City style. So black and white for the most part, except for like highlights of the red, which is kind of its secondary color. It has some orange and the yellow V fin, and I think a few other yellow parts in the side skirts. Uh, but just highlights of red, and just gonna try doing like a cell shading style with it. So I'm gonna take which one is this? This is black. Good. Just gonna take a bit of runner here and see how well that goes on the plastic. Maybe I shouldn't do it across. Maybe I should do it. Mm, Definitely going over the number it picks up. This might not be the best type of marker for it because it's just a Sharpie creative marker. But it will get a primer coat of white, glossy white, if I can get it, or just might be I just might have to do a gloss top coat. Yeah, the Sharpie. I've seen people do cell shading on their kits with markers, but those might actually be paint markers. These are just regular Sharpies. I just wanted to give this just a little test. And this is the red. It comes out a little pink, but from what I understand of color theory, like if you're going on a white backdrop, you don't want to start with red. You want to like start with a pink, or maybe that was maybe it was, if you want red on black, you start with pink and then you work your way up to red. I'm gonna have to figure that out. Okay, that doesn't look the most terrible. But I'm going to a competition. I don't want, it's not terrible. I want people to look at this and go like, dang, that looks dope. And that's why we test things. Well, out of curiosity, how does this red work on a red runner? It definitely gives it a brighter highlight. So I could probably use this with highlighting areas. It's not quite the dark red I want. Let's see what a blue looks like. That blue kind of pops against the red really well. Kind of like that. What I'd probably do with that is use something like this blue for shadowing on the red parts. That way it's not completely black. Like there's enough color there to sort of show up that this is that red part. It's just in shadow. Maybe it needs something to grip onto. Yeah, that's a possibility. I can, let's see here. Let's kind of scour the, my daughter came home with blue hands the other day, which was not fun to clean up. Now I'm getting myself all inked up. There's one. Okay, that's roughed up a little bit. That definitely highlights a little better. That's what I need. The marker is a little bit thicker than just regular like Sharpie ink. I'm not really seeing any corrosion on the plastic of the runner, so that tells me that it's probably going to be safe on a piece as well. Let's see, I'm going to try going over this again, see if it gets, no, it doesn't really get any darker. It gets shinier. It's keeping that highlight. See what happens if I put a little bit of this blue over that black, if we get anything darker. Not really. If anything, now we got a white streak going through it. Interesting. Because they were blending pretty well on the picture that I made this weekend. Okay. I do enjoy that blue. Might hang on to that for something. All right. Well, I can't exactly say the markers were a success, but then again, I did not buy these markers for this. I could probably reach out to folks in the Gunpla community what they would recommend, if not official Gunpla markers, like what their go-to is, because I do not have a airbrush, which is pretty much what all the serious people use, is airbrushing their kits when they want to recolor them or something like that. I do not have the equipment or really the space to start on that. I will eventually, probably depending on how it goes down at Plamo. I will invest in a airbrush. I have seen some good recommendations for airbrushes. I've also seen people like stay away from this stuff. There was a cheapo, like $19, $17 like marker airbrush thing from Hobby Lobby, and I saw it and I thought like, I wonder if this would work. And then one of the Gundam folks I saw on Instagram was like, I got this, and 2 weeks later, another video of him like, don't get it, it's a mess. It's one of those things, like, if you're just starting out and just kind of like having fun with it, like, it's not bad. Like, you will get paint splotches, but if you're actually, getting serious into your builds and things like that and wanting them looking like professional, photogenic and stuff like that, it's all you're doing is just throwing $17 in the garbage. I'm like, okay, good to know. I'm not going to be getting this product. So I don't exactly have $17 just to throw down the toilet. Yeah, when I was in Warhammer 40,000, there were we had people that would airbrush their models, and they're like D&D models. They're tiny 25 millimeter base and stuff like that. I thought, man, because in my head I'm thinking like, oh, it's like a spray paint. You just do that, and I didn't realize like how very precise and small you can get that paint to go through it, and it just blew me away. Just the stuff that people could do with miniatures and airbrush. I still like hand painting, even though they look uh, sloppy. Model painting is not my forte. It's not my particular uh, thing that I love about the hobby. But I have enjoyed time to time. Oof, that's gonna be a later day thing, cleaning up that nub mark. But yeah, it's coming together. Okay, maybe over this a little bit. If I can, I might, hang on, like from here that way, from here that way. I might try to sand down at a little bit of an angle so I can get a little bit better range of motion on that shoulder. I don't know how much better range of motion, but might just Might just have to try and see. Worst thing that happens is I glue the pieces together and then have to pry them off. But I'm not really a stranger of unsticking things. Okay. All right. Now, the most important part of this process when you're done is putting your stuff away, which I have demonstrated this time because you don't want to lose things. You don't want bits and pieces, sharp tools, or anything like that lying about for uh, small young human or a pet or anything like that to get into and potentially hurt themselves. You don't want to lose anything. You don't want to break anything. So always put your tools away. I'll toss the hand in there too. Here we go. I was whining earlier about not this thing. This is what we are making, and ideally it's going to be black and white with just highlights of the red areas. I might do the eyes, but I might do the eyes as red instead of green. Or maybe I will do green because the camera up here is green. Or maybe I will do green because the camera up here is green too. We'll see how it is, or how I'm feeling when that time comes. Oh, put the instructions back in. All right. Thanks for stopping by, Deshi. And video on demand, people. Like, comment, subscribe, share if you know any other Gunpla people out. It is we are halfway through Mecha March. I am at 21 subscribers, and the goal is to get to 25 by the end of March, where I will be giving away 2 copies of the uh, Mecha Hack and the Mission Manual. Uh, uh, if we're able to get 25 subscribers, I'll give details on the giveaway. Probably I'll create like a community post and have somebody, or like have you all comment below to enter into the uh, drawing for it. All right. Once again, thank you everybody for stopping by, and we'll catch you at least next Tuesday for another live build for my when I'm taking down to Plamo 2026. All right, catch you later. Bye bye.